This is the ECOFLOW WAVE 3, a portable air conditioner and heater that looks cleaner and more modern than most gear I've used outdoors. It's a little boxy in a good way, with a tight, solid build that doesn't rattle around. I've run it in my camper and in the corner of my apartment, and it blends in better than I expected. Even with the add-on battery attached underneath, it feels like one purpose-built unit, not a stack of parts. I went into testing with doubts. Portable ACs can be weak, loud, and power-hungry, and the ones that promise heating usually compromise somewhere. I wondered if this one could actually cool and heat more than a tiny tent, and if the battery would be anything more than a short demo. From my experience after using it in a small RV, a bedroom, and a makeshift office, it surprised me in the right ways. Key features that stood out to me revolve around power and flexibility. The add-on LFP battery is the heart of the off-grid story here. LFP means lithium iron phosphate, a battery chemistry known for stability and long cycle life. It slides under the unit, plugs in cleanly, and instantly makes the Wave 3 usable without a wall outlet. I've taken it through overnight camping setups, a couple of tailgate evenings, and a neighborhood outage. In my opinion, the freedom to move it without hunting for an extension cord changes how and where I use a portable AC. Battery life depends on the mode. From my experience, I can stretch up to about 8 hours if I'm conservative and stick to eco or just fan for airflow. On regular AC mode, I get around 4 hours before I want to recharge. If I crank it to max cooling, I see closer to 2 to 3 hours. That's normal for a unit this size pushing real cooling. Charging the battery back up is quick. Using fast charge, it has taken me roughly 75 minutes to go from low to full, which is much faster than the big bricks I've tried with other brands. I've also topped it off with solar panels on sunny days and a 12-volt carport while parked, which makes it flexible for actual travel scenarios. Cooling power is rated at 610 BTUs, with heating at 680 BTUs. If BTU is new to you, it's a simple measure of how much heating or cooling the unit can deliver. Higher numbers mean more power. Numbers on a spec sheet don't tell the whole story, so here's what I saw. In my camper, about 120 square feet, the Wave 3 drops the temperature by several degrees in roughly 15 to 25 minutes on AC mode, even in the afternoon sun. In a larger bedroom, I still feel the cool air quickly when I set it up with the hoses done right. In a 200 square foot lounge, it took the edge off by about 3 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit in an hour on battery. That's solid spot cooling, but it won't transform a large room into a meat locker. You do need to run the dual hoses. Portable ACs work by pulling in air and exhausting hot air outside, and the dual hose design helps keep the cooling efficient without creating a vacuum that sucks hot air back inside. It's a little fiddly to fit the hoses into a window or an RV vent the first time, but after a couple setups, I had it dialed. Tip for anyone new to this: give yourself a few minutes to test the best window placement. When the hoses are sealed well, the cooling performance jumps and the unit doesn't fight itself. The user interface is straightforward, which I appreciate. The display shows temperature, battery percentage, and runtime, so I always know what I have left before I need a charge. The buttons are chunky and easy to hit. Switching between cooling, heating, fan, and dehumidifier is quick. If I'm on the couch or tucked into a sleeping bag, I use the ECOFLOW app over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to change modes, set timers, and nudge the temperature. The app is clean and doesn't require a lot of tinkering to figure out, which matters to me when I'm tired after a long drive. Noise was a big question for me. On Eco or plain fan, it sounds like a normal room fan and I can sleep with it running. On max cooling, it gets more noticeable. By my phone's meter, I'm seeing around 55 to 60 dB at close range, which is like a conversation or a TV in the next room. It's not obnoxious, but if you're sensitive to sound, I'd save max for when you're not trying to sleep and use Eco at night. Heating is a nice bonus. I don't rely on it as my main heater, but when the temperature dips in the evening, it lifts the chill in my camper in about 20 minutes. For shoulder seasons or quick warm-ups in the morning, it does the job and adds real value if you travel between hot days and cool nights. Maintenance has been easy. The unit collects condensation while cooling and dehumidifying, and it needs to be drained. I get a warning when it's time. I pop out the little plug, empty the water, and I'm back in action in a minute. In humid weather, I check it more often. That's normal for portables. Portability matters, so here's the reality. With the battery attached, it's around 60 pounds. I can shuffle it around my van, garage, and patio without much trouble, but I wouldn't carry it up multiple flights of stairs by myself. The size and weight are still more manageable than other portable ACs I've owned that didn't even have heating or battery power. One small perk I like is the USB-A and USB-C ports on the front. When I'm cooling down, I can charge my phone and a headlamp without hunting for another outlet. It sounds minor, but in a van or campsite, that convenience is worth a lot. It's perfect for people who split time between home and the road. In my opinion, the sweet spot is campers, van setups, small RVs, sheds, tiny offices, and bedrooms where you want targeted cooling or heating without wiring a full system. If you're trying to condition a big living room on battery, think of it as a smart spot cooler rather than a whole room solution. From my experience, the most important thing is setting expectations and dialing in the setup. Use the dual hoses correctly, seal your window kit, keep an eye on the water tank in humid weather, and pick the right mode for the moment. Eco for sleep or steady comfort, regular AC for daily use, and max for quick cooldowns when you first arrive and the space is hot. I'd recommend this for anyone who needs portable climate control that actually moves with them, especially if you want real off-grid options. If you're prepping for outages, the quick charging and battery flexibility make it a reliable backup. If you're camping or traveling, it saves you from relying on shore power every time you want a cool night. In conclusion, the ECOFLOW WAVE 3 balances power, portability, and ease of use better than most portables I've tried. The battery life is honest, the cooling and heating punch above the size, the app is simple, and the maintenance is minimal. It's not whisper quiet on max and it's not featherlight, but the trade-offs made sense for me. I'm keeping it in rotation for trips and as a home backup during heat waves. If you have questions about setup, battery choices, or real-life cooling results, drop them in the comments and I'll cover them in another video. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next, and tell me how you'd use the ECOFLOW WAVE 3. Thank you for watching.